Good morning, guys. It is time for a Wiggy update, which is very exciting. So if you saw my last video about Wiggy, that video was actually filmed over a month ago. So I'm giving you the 1 month update since then. So in that video I explained that I wasn't happy with his condition, with his top line, with his musculature. He just was very weak, and he is a big horse and he is a young horse. He's 5, but he should have been better. I didn't really know what was going on, and I felt like he was getting worse instead of better, so I was a little bit stressed about him, so it kind of threw the whole book at him. So first I got a nutritionist in. My friend is a vet with Red Mills, so she came and she made up a feed plan for him. So he went on to the Horse Care 10 with the Define and Shine supplement and also the Grow Care balancer. So that's all aimed at protecting his gut and then giving him enough building blocks to actually make muscle. So he did that. She also recommended some oil in his feed. He was already on linseed oil. A lot of people recommended that when I asked, but he had already been on that for like months. So I changed to Caron oil with vitamin E included in it. So he did that, and also she recommended putting him on a gut supplement as well. So I did that as well. So changed the feed. I also ran a bloods on him to see if he was firstly lacking in any, had any deficiencies, and also in case he had something like actually underlying, like liver disease or something, you know. They came back all clear except his iron and red blood cells were low, so he has some sort of anemia, which we're not sure what was caused by. When I saw the bloods, I became more suspicious that he may have ulcers, because he does kind of give that ulcer look, like, you know. I felt like he had bad skin and everything. I just felt like the issue was coming from like the inside, like something inside was just not happy. So I started treating him for ulcers, both gastric ulcers and hindgut ulcers. So, I had the drug anyway, so I was like, I'll just treat him. I should have gotten him scoped. I honestly don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. So I put him on, ulcer treatment basically. And what else do we do? Yeah, he's had the physio out a couple of times. Actually, he had the physio out over a month ago, and then she came out again like 2 days ago, and she couldn't believe the difference. So that's really, really great. It's nice to like get that kind of impartial opinion, and especially when she hadn't seen him in quite a while. He still has a long way to go. However, all of these changes, he's definitely improved a lot. Like his coat condition is a lot better. You can see where the new coat's coming through. Like it's kind of patchy because of how bad it was, but the new coat is coming out is really nice. He definitely has more of a top line. It's still not where I want it to be, but it's so much better. He has more energy. As well as treating the ulcers, I also put him on a iron supplement. So the horse has had everything thrown at him, and yeah, it's paying off. My bank account isn't happy, but it will be worth a while when he is feeling and looking his best. So I'm going to get him, show you guys how he's looking, and then I'm going to jump him today. So as I said before, I don't really jump him very much because he's just so weak. But today I'm going to do some fillers and kind of spooky fences because we are slowly getting towards going to our first show. I do want to make sure he's 100% before we do, but I thought introducing some fillers, some spooky fences, water trays, and then hopefully an arena hire in a week or two, and then hopefully to his show if things keep improving as they are. So without further ado, I will show you him and we will get tacked up and jumping. Here's the little boy. Hello, golden boy. He actually needs another clip, I think. Yeah. Also, he did lose a shoe yesterday, but we're going to ride him anyway because he's actually doesn't even bother him. And the shoe's getting put back on this afternoon. Isn't it? Good boy. So I think we have a slightly better development here. Here is definitely less hollow. It's very hard to see on the camera, but before this like sunk right in, you could really see his scapula. It wasn't very nice at all. We have a much kind of better angle of his back. He also has no back pain. He feels really good. All the muscle is really supple, which is great. You can see he's really soft. He had the physio not that long ago. He's not standing square now. Let me just, good boy. And still here, I would like a little bit more muscle here, but overall we're getting a bit rounder. It's getting rounder. It's quite exciting. But yeah, just as a whole, he's looking better. Still see a few ribs. You can still see where this skin is kind of healing and coming back better. So we still have definitely a long way to go, but at least now we're heading in the right direction, which is good. Because as I said before, he was actually getting worse. Like, yeah, he was losing condition. Oh my gosh, I obviously hate the horses. He was actually losing condition, which I was like, just like, what's happening? I was pumping feed into him. But yeah, I'm actually feeding less feed now, but just better suited for him. So he is finally heading in the right direction, thank goodness. So hopefully in another month or two, he'll be a completely new horse. So anyway, gonna get him tacked up and we'll start jumping. Another thing that's a bit random but notable is that he is growing the most thick, long mane. He's always had this like horrible little ratty mane, and now it looks like Lush needs like to be trimmed, and that's where the rug has rubbed him, which is annoying. But look at that. Yeah, he's getting a bit of a shine. It's looking a lot better. I wish I got a video of what just happened. I just got on him. Here he is. And we took one step and then he kind of felt funny. I was like, what? And then he went into a full like dog stretch. Like, you know, when they put their front legs forward and lean back on their bum? What, with me on him? I've never had a horse do that. He really enjoyed that physio session a couple of days ago. He's feeling loosey-goosey. So yeah, hopefully get some good jumps today. But anyway, I'll get him warmed up and then Dad's going to come down and get some videos. And yeah, we'll jump a few jumps. I have a plain jump to warm up over, then I have the water tray on the diagonal, and then I have some fillers he's never seen before, just to, I don't want to overwhelm him with like a million things, just more like, I like this kind of training where he's a little bit unsure, I tell him, no, go ahead, and then it's a good experience. And then it really builds trust, because he learns, okay, when I'm not sure about something, as long as she's sure, it goes well. So yeah. Oh, here's the wind. This weather's been terrible, guys. It's really not great. Anyway, we'll get going. Okay, full disclosure, it is 11 p.m. I've just celebrated my dad's birthday, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a voiceover for this video because tomorrow I'm going to Spain, so this has to be done tonight. Anyway, let's talk about Wiggy. Look at him go. So this is the left rein, obviously, which is his weaker rein, and I feel like it's looking better. Also, what did I say we didn't have last time? I said we didn't have our flying changes. What do we have now? We have sometimes flying changes. Okay, they're not perfect. They're not always together, front end and back end, and he is better left to right, but we're getting there. And I feel like that's a really good sign with how he's strengthening and being able to sit a little bit more on the back end. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how he's going. He's nice and easy and cruisy. He's also agreeable, you know. He wants to do what I want him to do. He's honestly the sweetest horse ever. So I've had a little warm up, I've had a little canter on both reins. Now I've decided to warm up not over the jump that I set up, no. I've decided to warm up over the pile of poles. Honestly, don't know why, but anyway. And then not only do I do that, but I get him in deep to it. Anyway, yeah, I come around again, and he does get a better stride, but I kind of was just, you know, running with the theme of spooky fences. And I was like, what's spookier than a fence? A pile of poles. And look at him, he's so cute. He's just giving like a little skip over them and keeping it easy breezy and giving him lots of pats. So now we're doing the water tray, which he did see last year. And I do a lot of training with the water tray when they're young horses. Look at that little pup. So when I'm breaking them in, I use the water tray as like a training tool, basically, to kind of put a little bit of pressure on them, in that they're almost always afraid of it, and I kind of put the pressure on to say, no, you can do it. And then, yeah, as I was saying earlier, it does build trust when I say, yeah, do it, and they're a little bit afraid, but it ends up, you know, being a positive experience. And yeah, I think it's good, and I think it just shows he hasn't seen that in months, and then he just goes straight up, walks over it, and then comes around and canters over it, and he does a little flying change after a jump. Okay, it's a little bit late behind, but when you've not set them up for the flying change, it's always a lot harder. So I was very pleased with him. So then we come around with it as a actual jump and then continue on to the filler. He does a little cute jump. He's, yeah, so sweet, and he lands on the correct leg. That's one thing about Wiggy. He's a clever boy. After landing on the wrong lead, he lands on the correct lead every time. And then you see later I jump the oxer, he lands on the wrong lead, and the next time around he lands on the correct lead. Like, he's smart cookie. He's a good boy. There he landed on the left lead. He had a little wobble coming to it because he hadn't seen those fillers before. He still jumped it like an absolute champ, but he landed on the left lead, and I actually continued on the left lead because he is stronger on his right lead and tends to land on the right lead. So when he does land on the left lead, I said, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of that and continue on the left lead and circled around on the short turn. But it's good practice for him. So I've put it up a little bit, and then this time I continue after this to the oxer. Here he was a lot more confident and straight, and therefore landed on the correct lead, which was good. And here he comes to the oxer, and this is when I say that he lands on the wrong lead. And here he tries for his flying change, doesn't get it behind, switches back. I ask again, gets it in front, doesn't get it behind, and then gets it behind. You know what? Babies aren't perfect, but I love that he tries so hard, and he really, really wants to do what I'm asking him. Bribery and corruption. Every time he jumps, he gets a treat from Dad. Dad, you look like, I don't even know what. The glasses down your nose, the hat. It's not your best look.
It's not about me, it's about him.
Good boy, so good. So after that short intermission for a little treat, because we are all about bribery on this yard. So yeah, every time he jumped the course, he got a little treat. You know what, we got to keep it fun. I really am a strong believer that horses need to want to do it for us. Like, we're asking them to do something that is not natural, and they have to want to do it. So this time I just jumped the water tray in the oxer. I jumped the water tray the opposite direction, which for horses, when you jump things the opposite way, it can be like a whole new thing, but he was very good. The stride came up a little close. I just waited, and he was really patient and really with me and jumped it really nicely. Then he comes around to the oxer, a little bit of a longer stride, lands on the correct lead. Super easy, super crazy. Give him a pat into the walk, and that's him, job done. So happy with him. He's just the best boy in the whole world. We'll do a full debrief and I'm not in the wind, but guys, I love him so much. So I put Wiggy away, did his stretches and everything. Oh, that's another thing I should talk about, I guess, is that to help him feel even better. Because the problem is, it's a bit of a vicious circle, because if they don't have the muscle, it's very hard for them to work correctly because they don't have the muscle to hold themselves in a correct place. But then if they don't work correctly, they don't build the muscle. So it's kind of like hard to get it all together. But it did just mean I wanted to make sure that when he was working, you know, he didn't get kind of muscle pain, you know, like when you go to the gym and your muscles are sore afterwards. I wanted to make sure he was feeling tip top every time so that he could work the best way possible. So yeah. Before every ride, he gets the MagnaWave machine, which is PEMF therapy. So that's really nice for loosening out all his muscles. And you could see from the start of the video, like when I run my hands like through his muscles, there's no reaction, there's no like pain or anything. Like, he's really supple and feeling really good in his body. He's just lacking muscle. So and then after I ride him, he gets all his stretches. So his carrot stretches left, right, underneath his belly, and then his buttocks, where you scratch the back of their bum and they like lift their back. Yeah, so just trying to do everything, just trying to use all the knowledge I have to make him the very best horse he can. It's kind of like a little project for me now. Like, how good can I get this horse? I think talent wise, he's a very nice horse. He definitely has a lot of scope. Every time I jump him, I've never felt like he's anyway struggling. Like, you can see that with the oxer, he's just kind of cantering over it. I feel like when they go up and when he actually has to try, his technique will sharpen up, but he's careful. Like, he doesn't touch a pull. He didn't touch a pull all day today. but he's not like, you know, really quick and snappy and like the classical careful show jumper, I suppose. He's almost reminds me like a hunter, you know, like the American hunters. Like he just canters down and jumps out of his rhythm, you know. It's all very relaxed, but it feels great. He's just so adjustable. Even like coming to the water tray the very last time I was a little bit close, so I just asked him to wait and he just sat up and balanced, and he now has the strength to do that, which is really exciting. Yeah, and I put in every jump that I jumped in this video. Like I'll include every jump I did, so that's it. Like we did like less than 10 jumps, I reckon. He doesn't need to be killed, he doesn't need to do loads. He wasn't even like sweating, he wasn't even warm, to be honest, but I don't want to kill him jumping. I'd rather do his fitness work like on the gallops or something like that, and keep the jumping fun. And I was so proud of him with the fillers. Like he just jumps bigger, but even then he's not jumping like super big and crazy. He's just like, oh yeah, just jump a bit bigger. I love him. He's just so nice. He's going to be such a nice horse, honestly. I can't wait to see what he'll jump. Like I think he will surprise. I think he could jump even bigger than you think. He just feels quite scopy, which I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm not questioning it. But yeah, I'm very excited. And you can see now why I think he could be a really nice eventer, because he's just so laid back. You know, he's not going to be spooking at things, but he's also not going to be like trashing jumps. So yeah, I think it could be a very nice eventer, but I'm gonna keep him with my show jumping yard for a little bit longer until he is ready to go. But that is the update on Wiggy. Delighted. So in another month I hope I'll be bringing you to an arena hire outing, and I'll give you another update, and then after that it'll be time for our first ever show. I can't wait. Okay, well, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys, thank you for watching.